What's going on, everybody? This is real and this is my story.
I look in the mirror and all I see is a young old man with only a dream.
I became homeless. Well, when I had my son, me and my baby mom decided to move in together. And I had a good paying job. You know, I was full-time. Actually, I wasn't full-time. I was part-time. I working at Home Depot. I was getting money. I was in there every day. I'm talking about 10, 11 hours. So, you know, putting like 50 hours a week. So, and then they hired me as seasonal. So one day I looked up, they had me off the schedule. And, you know, I went to the guy. I even tried to go out of my way to get a forklift license just so I can have a better chance of being permanent. You know, and it didn't happen that way. So, you know, she ended up moving back with her parents. I didn't have nowhere to go. My mom, she got a house, but you know, she's strung out. You know, I can't have my son in that environment, so I chose to just be independent and work from ground up. Right now, I work right now. You know, if you don't work, you ain't getting nothing.
Right, because it ain't enough.
It ain't enough, but you know, I'm happy for what I got. You know, because a year ago, it took me a year to get a job. You know, I was struggling. You know, I ain't had no money. I was hanging behind the shelter, hanging with a lot of dudes, you know what I mean? And one day it hit me, I'm like, man, I got a son. You know what I mean? My pops left me. My son asking where I'm at. You know, I'm living. You know what I mean? I got to make something happen. The shelter is nothing but a bird's nest. That's where the black birds go. You know,
Who the black birds? What's that?
them like thirsty legions. They climb on your back. They try to enter inside. It just deteriorates your whole motivation to do something positive. You know what I mean? And somebody like that, you can't rock with.
When I initially met Real, you know, I was just wondering why are you out here? Why are you homeless? I mean, this is ridiculous. You have more potential than to sit in the woods, you know, living in the woods like this. So he brought me to his tent. I looked in his tent and there was a big screen TV and his computers and musical equipment and stuff, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I mean, this guy's living large in the woods. He had a generator, lights, and you know, so I was very impressed. So obviously he was there because he wanted to be there. Anybody that does, you know, that has a setup like that, it just seemed like, you know, he must have wanted to be there. So, but he didn't have a job. So I talked to him and I was telling him, you know, look, you know, you have to get a job. You know, whatever you're doing, it's not the right thing. You know, if you continue to do the right things will happen for you. And I kept telling him that over and over again. Now, I don't know what he was doing. I really don't. But all I know is he wasn't asking for money. You know, he wasn't begging or holding up a sign or anything, flying like, you know, a lot of the other homeless guys. But, you know, so he got a job, and then he got a moped, and he's had it ever since. And he told me, you know, and he constantly was telling me, yeah, I'm doing the right things, you know, and he was going to church every Sunday, and, you know, he picked up his son, and, you know, I was very impressed with it, you know, and I always ask him, and I always been tell him that, you know, you should get out of the woods. What are you doing in the woods? As a matter of fact, me and my wife actually looked for rooms for him to rent, going, you know, on the Craigslist and everything, and found some rooms and stuff, and with text them to him and all, and he texted me back and he was like, look, God got me. Then I began to realize that the reason he was out there was because that's where God had placed him. And it took me a long time to realize that he was taking care of his camp, you know, and you know, they have mad respect and mad love for him. That was like one big happy family. And right now, criminal element has moved into that camp. They still have mad respect for him. However, environment dictates behavior. He told me that he needed to leave, and he was going to leave, and he was, you know, this would be his last week. He's renting an apartment, and I'm really happy for him. And I know that he's very talented, and I want his music career to be launched. I want it to be launched because there's a message in his music.
My raps are mini sermons. You know what I mean? Because when I sit, I don't even know. I be like, man, where this come from? I don't even know these words. You know what I mean? And then later on down the line, something happened in my life, and then he'll be like, that song, remember that song? Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like he's using me, ministering through me to me, but to people at the same time. The weight, ether. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, just the realizing the renewal of the mind, opening the eyes. It's like the weight, you know what I mean? Actually realizing what's going on. And then God say, you got the transition. So right now, this is the transition, you know, and then, you know, it'll be to the point where it'll be the funeral, the death of the old me, where everything is old, it'll just be old, it'll just be a new creation, you know what I mean?
You are only here to do a job.
Don't worry, that's all I intend to do. Hello, Archie. How you feeling?
Man, this time I had a dream.
Had a dream? What about?
Dreamt I was sleeping.
At the end, I can see that you believe, and at last you will find the answers here. What you love, I can see, will change forever, and at last you will find the answers here.
Oh yes, K did it. Came through hot flow, just hang with it.
Feel good. Reality's about to kick in though. Responsibilities. It's brand new, but you know, it's all with the territory.
What you mean?
Bills. It's responsibilities. Like just being persistent. And maintaining. Been out there for 3 years, so I ain't going back. That's it, that's a closed chapter for me. Transition.
Be the best, cause I don't even see the rest.
At the end, I can see that you